Get like, because you have to think.
You gotta think. You gotta think about it.
You really got to use your noggin.
Gotta think
You
about
got to think
it.
about what you got in
Or
there.
welcome to the Waco podcast.
We're your host and we don't follow any rules.
I don't follow one goddamn rule.
When I say a rule, I'll go the opposite direction.
We're all from the bad part of London.
I'm from the wrong tracks.
Yeah, you
Wrong side of the railroad
I'm
tracks.
from the entirely wrong tracks. There's no right side.
I've never even seen a wet ass pussy in there.
in it.
Ain't it? Wet ass
It
pussy,
is.
ain't it?
Wet ass pussy.
Oh, it's a wet ass pussy, ain't it?
Isn't it?
Ain't it a wet ass pussy?
Wet ass pussy.
It's raining wet ass pussies out there today, isn't it?
Is that how we're really starting it?
We can start it like that.
All right.
This is the Week Old Podcast. I'm one of the hosts, Tommy, joined me by my other host, Grant and Ryan. What's up, guys? We just got back from Boatchella. We didn't go, but
We were
tried.
attempting to have our own.
we were attempting to have our own,
competing event, Gondapalooza.
but
Yep.
it didn't go well.
This is going to be devastating news for the listeners, I think.
I think we're gonna lose some listeners based on what we actually did.
Well, we were banking off of having a good Boatchella
Yeah.
reporting.
Yeah.
And
Well, yeah, let's read the event. Why don't you? I'll pull up the Boatchella description, and
Okay, you
why
pull
don't
up
you
the-
intro the pod?
okay, so today Grant was gonna get a boat out, and we were gonna go and swim near, or not swim, but take the boat out near Boatchella and sort of make fun of it and film that, for the podcast. But the boat didn't work, and we didn't even end up seeing it. I don't think. I think we saw it in the distance a little bit, but
The boat. Wait, we should. So Boatchella.
should we
is,
just describe what Boatchella is?
Yeah, well, I
Sure.
mean, because I was listening back last time and we didn't really cover it.
Okay.
Boatchella. Okay, so I'll just read from the event page real quick here.
By the Back Pocket Podcast,
Yep.
they're hosting an event called Boatchella, a super spreader COVID event.
Yeah, which is 250 people on a cruise liner, which makes berth in Stillwater, Minnesota.
Yeah.
What's
So-
crazy is you could just stop that at 250 people,
Yep.
and it would be a super spreader event. But then you put it on
A boat.
a boat, which
I mean, Clay.
it's like snakes on a plane, but like coronavirus on a boat.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good. There's too many goddamn coronavirus on this goddamn boat.
Samuel Jackson is at Boatchella right now.
Boatchella, there are too many goddamn coronavirus.
Do you think they have that audio leading up to like some of their DJ sets, like where it's
Probably. Well, it's probably just like a lot of Little John drops
Yeah.
too.
like yeah.
Because they seem like they're very self-aware over there at the Back Pocket Podcast.
Well, it's weird because they are, but they're not.
So
Well, that's why they're confusing. It's hard to make fun of them.
I know.
Yeah.
We've been making fun of them for weeks now, and they just use our like Ryan made a post
For
Gondapalooza,
Gondapalooza.
which is our competing event, and we're just talking shit about Boatchella, and they took that flyer and used it as promotion for Boatchella,
Yeah.
and then got more views than than we did and their other Boatchella posts. Like, people seem to be they're leaning in.
They're
you know?
leaning
They're
in.
like,
Well,
I'm getting
I made this
COVID,
comparison
and
in
it's
the car.
hilarious.
Yeah, and I made this comparison in the car, but like making fun of them is like making fun of Trump.
Yeah.
Because they're already the joke themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then you even make fun of the joke themselves, which is them, and then they just double down, and just continue.
Well, also, like, I do think there's a thing with, like, that age group of, like, people who are still going out to the bars and stuff and just getting, like, really drunk, even though COVID is,
They're like 24, 25.
Yeah.
I do think,
They're a
like,
little older than I am, I think.
Mhm.
I think
Oh, really?
Maybe a year. or
maybe
something.
younger,
They're
though, a
my
little bit.
age.
I'm sure it's, they run the gamut. But I think those people just haven't really thought about, like, what death actually is. Because, like, they'll say things like, if I die, I die. I want to party. And it's like, yeah, but then that's it. That's the end of everything then.
Yeah.
Like,
But But they don't know that they'll kill other people.
I feel like they know.
no,
It's
they
been,
know. Yeah,
it's
you
been
have
in the
to-
news.
How would you not know? Like, you're just like, who the fuck is Fauci? What?
Well, that's what I feel like.
Like,
because-
claiming ignorance at this point does not work as a strategy.
But if they knew that, why would they just keep doing it?
because they're
Are they just bad?
I think they're just kind of
They're
selfish.
just a couple
honestly.
inspirational dudes.
Well, okay.
Yeah, no,
I
you're
forget
right.
that we're talking about the Back Pocket Podcast, but genuinely, I like those guys. But it is
I like them too.
absolutely selfish to still do this event, given everything that's going on, because it has the potential to absolutely be a super spreader.
Here's the event description. By the way, this is the podcast where we apologize for everything we've done wrong in our lives, and we demand apologies from others who have wronged us. We read listener apologies that you submit. We make amends and demand apologies, right? So
And I think we're gonna demand one from the
let's go ahead and say
Back Pocket Podcast. Apologize for being a super spreader.
currently it's happening right now as we
it's happening
record.
right now.
Well, okay, but we also, I think, owe people an apology that we can get to later, unless we should just jump in.
Well, I wanted to read
Let's
this.
read this
Okay.
and then we can get in it.
So here we go. This is the event description on eventbrite.com. Refund policy, no refunds. Hell yeah, guys.
They're
no
they are
refunds,
funny.
and you can't sue us.
They are funny.
They hopefully they have something that says you can't sue them. Okay.
They
Bo-
might get sued. I didn't even think about that.
Boatchella 2020 is looking to be the turning point of this already historic year.
Which, I mean, you alluded to this in the car, like historic in a good way,
Yeah,
almost.
Yeah.
Like that's what they think. Like, what do you mean by historic?
Yeah, that's like,
and this is the turning point.
September 11th was the turning. September 11th, 2001 was a real historic moment.
It was
Or
a
even
turning
like,
point.
even like us dropping the bomb on Japan was a turning point of World War II, which was bad. It's just another bad thing that happened.
I think comparing Boatchella to 9/11
Yeah.
and
Hiroshima.
is it Hiroshima or Hiroshima? I don't know. I think comparing that to those tragic events is only appropriate.
I don't think that's disrespectful to anyone.
I think it's only what needs to be done.
I agree.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're in agreement.
I'm glad we're in
Boatchella-
agreement.
Bo- Boatchella-
Is it the word agreement or agreement? Because I was saying agreement for a
man,
while, but
I was
then I
just-
started. I heard smart people say agreeance, and I'm like, okay, hold on. We already had a word. We already had a word for what you're saying.
Fucking clue.
Yeah.
So now
this
I'm
this
saying
one
both.
is so beyond me and like my capabilities. I can't give you any answers.
Agreeance.
No, it's not agreeance, I don't think.
I think that's just like if you're in Congress, you say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreement sounds like a nationality. You know, I'm agreeance. Come from agreement. I'm agreeance.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good Seinfeld.
Let's.
joke.
What's the deal with agreeing?
Doesn't agreeance kind of sound like a nationality?
And when did we
And what are
start
you?
saying agreement?
And what are you? Well, I'm agreeance. Well, okay.
I'm in agreement.
Well-
I'm in agreement.
I'm Caucasian.
Let's come together to celebrate one another and the beautiful Minnesota community. Boatchella will take place aboard the Majestic Star, a magnificent 4-story boat with an open top deck in Stillwater, Minnesota.
They're huge.
Wait, okay, time out. It's 4 stories? Because the boats we were looking at were like 2 stories. And
Well,
like,
we were looking at me and Ryan were looking at boats that were like, before, because we got there at the dock before they docked off one of the big boats, and there was this huge one, and Ryan was like, maybe it's like one of those boats,
Yeah,
and I was
is.
like, no way, that's huge.
well, dude, we were looking
and it was that was the 4-story
even
one.
the 2-story ones though. We were looking at those and we were like, those seem a little big for this.
And I was like, yeah, I don't know, but I guess it's 250 people are on those things, so I guess they got a huge. They had 2 DJs. Okay, sorry. Continue with the description.
I'm just reading. Yeah, I mean the description is those were the main things that we really wanted to get to. Is that it's Boatchella 2020. Little did you know, Boatchella 2020 is going to be the turning point of this year, which is actually pretty cool if you think about it, because this year has been really bad so far. So
Yeah, and
today's Boatchella, which
Right.
is good
So
because
things
it's
are
all
gonna
going to
get
be
better
good now.
Is what you
Well,
would
if the
think.
turning point is if it's going to turn even worse after
Yeah, 'cause you
Boatchella, then
can-
I guess that is a turning point. Whatever the point is right now, if it turns in some direction,
that's the thing with
then
turning,
it's a turning
points.
point.
With turning points, nobody ever talks about that it could go worse. You
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
think turning point, it's going to get better. Sometimes you turn and you go right into a guardrail.
Sometimes that's the thing. So maybe it is a turning point in which it turns right into a what?
A guardrail. Like when you're driving, the thing that stops.
Right.
you-
Oh yeah.
Okay, so starting at 11 a.m.,
I
there
know
will
how to
be
drive.
optional pregame festivities that are included with your ticket located in downtown Stillwater. Drink deals from Liftbridge Brewery are available. Boarding at 1:15 p.m. Time on boat 2 to 6 p.m. That is a 4-hour cruise.
You know what's crazy about that pregame? So we were in downtown Stillwater today trying to thwart.
We probably
Boatchella.
got there around 2:30 p.m.
But
yeah,
it was fucking packed. So if you don't
yeah, downtown Stillwater is terrifying
if,
right now.
If you didn't want, like, if you were like, oh, I'm not gonna get it on the boat, you're for sure gonna get it at this pregame.
Mhm, yeah.
Oh
And
yeah,
then
I
just
mean
take
we were
it to
like
the
the
boat.
only ones downtown wearing masks,
With
and
masks,
stuff
yeah.
and trying to
Dude,
be
we saw so many thin blue line shirts.
Yeah, there's a lot
Jesus
of Trump stuff
Christ.
happening there. There's a lot of "Don't tread on me."
Mr. Police Officer,
Yeah.
can I suck you off?
And then you get in those, you go to those, yeah.
God, dude.
Please,
Well, I was telling
pull me
Ryan
over.
about
Please
this.
let
It's
me
so
suck your gun.
It's so weird how these guys went from like, like fuck the government, they can't take
Yeah,
my guns. I'm an independent American, and then that's just like I'll suck the president off and suck my local police officer off
To
because
st-
that's what an
to
American
stop the gay
to
liberals
stop
from
the
taking
gay
over.
liberals from taking over. And it's like, how did we jump? How did they jump from fuck the government to I want to blow Trump?
But
you
they're
know, I
still
don't get it.
saying "fuck the government." Well, they're literally fucking the government at that point.
Yeah,
so
they're like they
that's
said
pretty...
fuck the government so much that they're just like, you know what, fuck me.
You know, here's the thing.
Fuck me, dude.
You can say a
my
lot of
ass.
things. You can say a lot of things about Republicans and Trump supporters, but they are men of their words. They
Yeah.
did stand by what they said,
Yeah,
and they are fucking the government. now.
yeah.
They are fucking agents of the government in the streets.
Okay, so listen to this. This is for. I mean, that's pretty much it. Here's the thing. Just to wrap up this Boatchella description, general admission tickets $80, group tickets for 8+ people in a group. Which, if you're going to Boatchella with 8+ people, fuck you.
Oh, big fuck you.
$65.
I can't believe Daniel Williams was just like,
yeah, I
this
might
sound-
go.
Yeah, this sounds
Oh,
cool.
okay. Here's very bottom of the description though. And then I have something to say about the police. The COVID precautions. Number 1, back pocket is limiting event attendance to 250 people.
Oh,
wow,
great
that's all
COVID
sweet.
precautions.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Yeah, limit to 250.
Number 2.
We can't do stand up or see people dying in the hospital, but I'm glad you're limiting your event to 250 people.
You hear that?
Yeah,
That's
a
me.
Good pat on
Good
the
job,
back.
guys.
Give
Good
them a pat
job.
on the
It's
back.
so dumb because we limited Gondapalooza to 3 people,
Yeah.
which now it's like seems dumb in
Yeah,
hindsight.
we know people who've died and they couldn't invite family
You know what's
members to
fucked
the
up?
funeral.
You know what's really fucked up is we limited Gondapalooza to 3 people, and we couldn't deal with the logistics. For that. That was too much.
yeah,
for us.
Gondapalooza
we
was
definitely got
Gondapalooza
COVID.
was
wash.
us 3, and we fucked up, and we were like, yeah, we can't pull this
Here's the
shit
thing.
off.
Again, say what you want about the Back Pocket Podcast. They are organized,
Yeah.
and their event did happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grant was calling us when me and Ryan there, and he's like, the motor's broken, and we were like, okay.
I guess and then we just went to a bar in Stillwater.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Real
Outside,
quick.
outdoor.
outdoor,
And
we wore
masks.
outdoor,
Real
we wore
quick.
masks.
But hold
Here's-
on.
okay, real
This
quick.
number
Okay.
2 precaution though. The boat will be sanitized prior to boarding.
Oh, great.
But while you're on there,
I mean, how do you sanitize a 4-story boat?
Yeah.
well, you have a can of Windex. You have a can,
Yeah. just-
and you have to have a can opener. You open the can.
I can't. open
Okay.
it.
And then
Well,
you
what
throw
were
it.
you?
I was just gonna say it's so fucking funny that our whole goal with Gondapalooza was to shit on this super spreader event and like be like, oh fucking you guys can't do that. And then what ended up happening was we just ate at a restaurant in a really crowded area, and I had 2 brats, and we had a couple beers.
That's not terrible. It was.
we were wearing our face masks.
It was
almost the whole
outside.
time.
We were in our face masks. Look, it wasn't 100% ethical, but
Life,
know,
you know what? Life
Yeah.
isn't 100% ethical.
Life isn't
kid.
100%
Sometimes you gotta break some. You gotta do the wrong thing.
This is funny though. 3
Thanks, Dad.
masks.
Listen, son. Sometimes you gotta do
Sit
the
down.
wrong
Sit down.
thing.
Come in here and sit down. I know you was just at baseball practice. Sometimes you gotta skip baseball practice, and you gotta help your dad sell illegal bootleg CDs. Come on, let's go down to the market.
Yeah,
It's me as a
Backstreet
dad.
Boys CDs.
Did you? Yeah.
At Burger King.
You're gonna be raising your kid in like Bangkok or something. Like.
It's the only place your mother can't get you.
There is no extradition treaty with Thailand.
I miss my mom so much. I'm like, I
You
miss
shut
her
up
too.
about your mom.
I miss her too. But you know what? I cheated on her. And so now
And
I can never
kidnapped
see
you.
her again. And I did kidnap you. Yeah.
Illegally.
Sometimes you
I
gotta
put
do
you
the
on.
wrong
I
thing.
put you on a gondola, and we sailed across the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
My name is Declan Brown. And
God. Okay. Yeah, what was the last?
it's just basically they're like asking people to wear masks, and then finally on the day of the event or days leading up to the event, if you feel sick or are experiencing any COVID-19 related symptoms,
Come
please,
on down.
please do not attend the event, and we will work with you in the process of refunding your ticket. But as we've already
I'm
stated,
once again
no refunds.
asking you to come to Boatchella.
Bernie Sanders is headlining Boatchella.
I am once again asking you to come to Boatchella.
This
is the most fun
I've ever had in my life on this magnificent 4-story boat. I think that we are all in agreement here that this is a fun time and not a bad idea whatsoever.
So we didn't get to see it.
No.
I'm curious to how
We attempted.
we attempted. We did our best. You know.
We're so stupid.
Yeah.
We're all, here's the thing, like we're not as stupid as them, but we're in the same ballpark.
We're definitely
We're s-
worse at podcasting than them.
We're stupid in a different way.
uh-huh.
in a
you know,
better way.
we're
In
like
a way that we can feel better than them about.
I feel better about our
For sure.
stupidity. I think for sure.
Yeah, I mean we're stupid, but we're not like rented 4-story boats.
Here's the thing.
No,
is
we're,
like
we're trying to get a gondola and we can't get it,
Yeah.
and we fuck up the boat motor. Stupid.
we just
and then we end up just having one beer at an outdoor seating bar in Stillwater, and we go, "Now you guys want to go do a podcast?"
Yeah.
And then we go, "Yeah, sure, fine."
and then we're like,
That's how stupid we are.
if we're giving anybody COVID, it's each other. You
Yeah.
know, which I'm fine with that. Like I would.
That's a gamble I'm willing to take.
Yeah.
Well, everyone has to take their own personal ethical risks, you know, and everybody has a small group of people they hang out with, you know, and you know, mine's you two, you know, my girlfriend, and then like my family, you
Yeah,
know.
mine is you two, the woman I'm seeing, and everyone who's at Boatchella today.
You went. I actually went.
Yeah, I went earlier.
That's
and
when
then
you snuck off to the bathroom. You
Yeah.
snuck off to the bathroom for about 2 hours.
Yeah, and I
then you were
came
like,
back
took
and I
a
was
crazy shit
The
in
best.
there.
The
really
best.
sweaty.
Yeah, you're really sweaty. You had a bunch of you know, necklaces
And glitter. I was covered in glitter.
Yeah,
too.
glow sticks
Yeah.
on you.
The best heel turn of this podcast would be if we reveal at the end that we recorded this podcast in like the All My Dogs Eat podcast studio that they were pumping on the Boatchella
I showed
promo.
it to my older brother, and he's like, "Are these guys ironic?" And I was like, "No, I don't think so." And he's like,
well, they
"This
are,
is
but they
ins-
don't know it.
I'm like, "This is insane." He was like, "Dude, this is hilarious. This is all a bit, right?" And I was like, "No, it's real." He's like, and my brother was blown away by it.
Dude, I loved it. Wait, talk about how Danny demand an apology from Danny for leaving the door open.
Oh, my brother keeps getting drunk and leaving the back door open at night.
Like just open.
Just open.
Wide open.
Just open. And then my mom goes, "Who left the back door open?" And then he sleeps till 1 p.m. So I say to my mom, because I'm up at 9 a.m., and I go, "It wasn't me." And then she angrily texts a group chat with me and Danny in it. And she's like, "You cannot be leaving the back door open. I just watched a true crime thing, and there's guys out there who murder and do even worse." You know, and then Danny wakes up in the morning and goes, "That wasn't me." Hey, it was somebody, because it's just us in the house. So it was
Yeah.
somebody.
Uh-huh.
I fucking love Danny.
Unless
so
you guys
much.
did get true
Can I
crime.
tell you a bit he was doing?
Yeah, tell us the bit.
So I was feeling kind of like depressed one night, and well, many nights. I'm feeling depressed many nights. That's just the truth of the matter. But he knew I was kind of feeling like he's very brotherly in the sense where he has like a great sense of like he knows when I'm feeling down, but like in no way are we gonna talk about it or express our emotions.
He's just doing bits to try to make you
he
feel
just
better.
he just
That's
he just
nice.
knows it. He knows it like his like intuitively. He knows it, which is like almost a beautiful thing in itself. And
he has a beautiful mind, you could say.
he has a beautiful mind. I love the guy. So anyways, this is like a very sweet story. So anyways, he buys sushi for me and my mom, and we're eating sushi out on the deck. And I'm just kind of not in a good mood and stuff. So I don't know if he was doing this on purpose, but he was just doing it. He kept eating all of the wasabi whole, and he was just downing the wasabi, and then he'd be like, "Oh God!" and then his face would start, eyes watering, and he's like, nose is running, and I'm dying laughing. And my mom's like, "What's going on? Why is this doing that?" And Danny's just like, "Don't worry about it." And then some time would go by, and then he would take another big clump of wasabi and just dome. He ate all of the wasabi on the table, and then is having a glass of whiskey 30 minutes later, and he's drinking whiskey this does not feel good in my stomach with all this wasabi. And I was just pissing my pants laughing.
Dude,
so he is so funny.
He's like your Christ figure.
Yeah,
where
he's
dying for your sins.
Dude,
I picture him stumbling, getting arrow shot into him as he's kind of saving your life, but really it's just wasabi.
He
yeah.
just keeps eating wasabi, and I'm laughing, and he's like, "Dude, right? Best party trick, best bit, never fails."
That door.
He's like, "It's the best bit, it never fails."
the best party bit. You just
Yeah.
bring a bunch of wasabi.
He's like crying, and his nose is watering, and he's just like, "It's an incredible party trick. It's a bit, it never fails."
Dude, it's like when kids would eat nasty shit in school, and it's just that's literally what
He's
your
eating
brothers do.
worms.
Yeah.
He's eating worms for likes.
And people are like, "Oh my God!" He's like, "It crushes."
I was dying, and then my mom's like, "Why are you doing that? Why are you eating the wasabi?"
Your mom's not in on the bit.
Yeah.
How's
And
your
I'm
mom
like-
not in?
I'm like, "Hey, some jokes aren't for everybody."
Yeah.
It's hilarious though. How is she not like? That's pretty funny that he's
And
eating
she
so
just
much
because he just
wasabi.
started randomly doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just started just going "Oh,"
The
and I was like, "Bro, what the hell?"
leaving the door open reminds me of something that I should apologize from my past. Apologize for it. One time, this is a story that's nestled in a much longer saga of a drunken evening that I had once, and I'll probably tell the rest of the stories at some point on this podcast.
We'll bookmark.
Yeah.
it.
So I was fucking wasted. I was in college. I was probably 22 years old. I lived with two other dudes, and I was out partying with a friend, not a roommate, a friend, and I got way too drunk, and he took me back to my house and put me in bed.
That's nice.
Okay,
That's a good
yeah,
friend,
because I was really a good friend. But here's the thing: is I went back out that night completely in a blackout.
What?
I've done
Yeah,
that.
and
That's a psycho mentality when you're laying
Okay.
in bed and you're just going like, "I'm getting
Listen
back
to this
out
though.
there."
Listen to this though.
Have you done that, Ryan?
No.
Listen-
I've done that before.
I've never done that.
That's when I've been on my most psycho
This is,
shit.
okay, just wait, because this is what
Maybe
I need to
maybe I go
apologize
see a
for.
roommate and he gives me a little key
You know
bump
what-
of
you know what
cocaine.
that is?
Exactly. Yes.
My roommate comes out, he's like, "I got a little
I'll get-
yayo,"
I'll get
and
you-
I'm just like, "Let's get it."
You know
He's
what
like,
that is?
I'll get your
Wait.
head right. I'll get your head
You know
right.
what that is? It's literally, we were talking about this earlier. It's the Undertaker thing, where you're knocked
Uh-huh.
down, you're knocked out, they're about to
Yeah.
count you out, and then you just
Come back.
rise
to life.
up,
Yeah.
and you go, guess what?
When you
it's
go to
it's WrestleMania
Yeah.
23.
This is another version of the Christ figure.
is
coming back
you
to life,
being drunk.
yeah.
Have you ever been to a Harlem Globetrotters?
this is the Christ figure episode.
Have you ever been to a Harlem Globetrotters game and they do the bid at the end where the best player on the team gets injured and they put him back, they take him out on a stretcher,
Yeah.
and then he comes back with a cast and then hits a full court shot through his legs, or hits his head and then it just goes in and everyone's like, "Oh my God!" That's
Okay,
you
but
going
listen,
back out at night.
This is what I did. One of my roommates is very particular about his stuff, and the other one is an absolute monster. So one of these guys is like, you don't fucking touch his stuff, really. So what I did is he had bought recently that summer, he had gone to the Red Hot Chili Peppers show at the XL, one of the last times they came through here, and he bought one of the $120 RHCP basketball jerseys.
Oh my God.
So I went back out and I went into his room and put that jersey
Oh
on.
no, Grant.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And then I
You're
shouldn't
like,
be
this is-
high-fiving this. This is the depths of my fucking
You're like, this is
substance abuse.
This is truly depraved.
Well, you're just like, "This is my party
But
outfit."
then I just left the house and neither of them were home, and I just left all the doors open of our house.
So wait, so you're plastered at this point,
I was
right?
blacked. I don't remember doing this.
That's so fucking fun.
Yeah.
I wonder if in your head while you were doing it, you were like, "This is funny. This is
Yes, because it was very much that's the relationship that I have with this guy, Ian. I mean, I don't even care. This is to everybody in my family and well, not my family, but my family of friends knows this story. So Ian, I don't know if I ever apologized for this, but sorry for taking your Red Hot Chili Peppers jersey that night, and sorry to Ian and Kaylin for leaving the doors of our house and all our possessions open. To the
This is
public
when you were going to school at the U.
Yeah,
right?
it was in Dinkytown. It was on Como and 15th.
Yeah.
right
like
by
the worst place you
right
could
by
be.
the Black Coffee Bar.
Mhm.
If you know, like
Yeah.
we lived right there. So
Yeah, my girlfriend used to live right over
that was pretty rough.
Yeah,
rough times.
Can
for
I
old Grant.
apologize for something?
Yeah.
Well,
go
okay,
for
wait.
it,
Before you
please.
apologize,
Similar story.
but wait, were there like what were the repercussions? Like, how did he respond? How
I
did your
don't want to.
roommates
This is
respond?
gonna.
Oh,
This
okay.
could take like the whole.
Okay,
podcast
Okay,
Yeah,
can
to
we?
really-
Why don't can we
We'll
put a
bookmark
book?
it,
Can we
yeah.
bookmark
We'll come
it
back
and
to this
continue?
story.
Because what
There's
we need
many
to,
things I had to apologize for on
Because
this
what we
evening.
need to come back to is what was Grant's night looking like pre his Undertaker moment, and then what were the repercussions
Oh my God.
post the decision of going for round 2
Jesus.
of partying that night. So
We can tease this over the podcast because this is probably, I swear to God, like the darkest night of my life. And this is
Grant's crazy party night when he was 22. Okay, this is great. I really like this.
I got arrested that night. We'll just
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, in the church. Okay.
Yes, yeah, I had to get that back from the jail.
Oh.
Okay. So we'll come back to that.
Maybe we'll close on this.
No, I'm not. I'm not
We
telling
can't- we
this
can't-
whole
we
story
can't get into
yet. Not yet. It's
You need to think about it.
I gotta get more
maybe.
comfortable with this podcast before I tell
Okay.
the rest of the
Okay,
story.
Tommy, let's hear you.
Well, I had a buddy, Adrian. We lived in a similar house. It was in the Dinky neighborhood when I was like 20 or 19.
Dinkytown, for anybody who doesn't know, is an area in Minneapolis. It's basically almost downtown Minneapolis, but it's like the university campus town.
Yeah, it's the first neighborhood across the bridge, across the Mississippi River downtown, and it's like the first neighborhood is like that college
It's
town.
where all the students that go to the U of M live.
Thing is, I lived in a house with 5 guys, and none of us were students at the
Oh,
U.
yeah, dude.
yeah,
We
I
were
knew.
just
yeah.
19-year-old drunks, and like I was going to community college. I was fucking dabbling in stand up at the time.
It's the place to be if you're that age and that drunk.
It was a
really.
great. It was a very shitty time, but obviously looking back, you have very fond memories and stuff like that. At the time, you're like, this is just insane. Anyways, so my roommate Adrian, if he listens, I don't think he would.
What up, Ado?
I don't think he would. Big A LeMay is what we call him.
That is
Hell
a
yeah.
sick nickname.
Big
dude.
A LeMay.
He better listen.
I love the guy, by the way. Okay, I lived with him a whole year. Great friends with him. Great. I mean, like he was boozing the most. Total booze hound. You know what I mean? Big
Hell
guy.
yeah, dude.
I've never seen anyone. I don't think I know anyone who can drink as much as he can. You know, I mean, he could just pound booze. Anyways, he's like, would just always piss on the couch. Like, we're just like. Anyway,
Big A.
Big A. Anyways,
Pissing on the couch.
Anyways, one night, so we're all drinking in the living room, and he's plastered, and there's like that White Castle, kind of like in that northeast area, over there. So he's just like, I'm gonna go get some White Castle, and so he walks over the White Castle. It's like a 4 or 5 block walk, 10 minutes there, 10 minutes back, And he comes back with his White Castle, and he like sets it on the ground. He's blackout drunk. Sets it on the ground. Goes, takes a piss. Comes back. Doesn't know where his White Castle is. and then he's like, "Where's my White Castle?" And then we're all cracking up. We can't even like look him in the eye because he's just so drunk. And then he goes, "You guys ate my White Castle." And then we're like laughing because it's literally right there. And he's like, "Okay. I guess I'm got to go get more White Castle."
No.
So then he leaves and
No.
he gets more White Castle.
Why wouldn't you guys tell him?
Because I think we were drunk.
You're
and
19 and pieces
we,
of shit,
we
dude.
were 19.
You're like,
pieces-
okay, we'll just eat his.
Yeah,
White
then we
Castle.
get to eat
Yeah,
the
so
White
then
Castle.
while he leaves, we eat his White Castle.
You pieces of
And
Oh,
then he
that's
comes,
so
and then he
awesome,
comes
though.
back, sets his White Castle on the
No,
table, falls
no.
right to sleep. Doesn't get any White Castle.
Yo, this poor
That
guy.
story
Okay.
fucking owns, dude.
You know what? I do think.
You
Okay,
guys
in
ate my
college-
White Castle, huh?
In college, I think there's like one dude, because like everyone's getting drunk as fuck, and like just doing all sorts of drugs and shit. But like, I do think there's always like one guy in a house where like everybody's like, yeah, John has a problem. No, like,
Yeah,
I don't.
He actually got
I
his
don't
shit.
remember
He
that.
actually got his shit
Really?
to that.
Because I think we all were that guy.
Yeah, I think we were all that guy to that extent.
I lived in a house in Dinkytown with
Mhm.
9 dudes.
wait, I think you've told me about this.
9 dudes.
Was this the house where you guys? It was supposed to be a duplex, and you
Yeah.
reserved the other half for partying.
Yeah, we had a split. It wasn't a split level duplex. It was a side by side duplex, but it connected. It was like, you know, those hotel rooms where there's a door in between the 2 rooms.
Yep.
It was like that on the upper and lower level, but there was no door. So it was a duplex that you had to live in with, like, you had to be cool seeing the people
Sure.
that you share the duplex with. So 9 of us just got together and made it a whole house. And
Which the 9 of you could have been like, all right, we can have a very functional and spacious house if we decide to expand this
Yes.
duplex.
Yep.
But you're like, no,
Well,
let's cram into half of
yeah,
this.
what we did
and then the
is-
other half is party
yeah,
time.
Not-
nine
You
of
guys are
us,
such
9 of
rats.
us made it.
Dude,
I could
rock.
I could
Dudes
honestly start a
rock.
whole podcast of like this house, and it would be bad.
I mean, a lot of apologies could come back. I mean, I think that's what this is.
So many, but so we took one of the sides and just called it the party side, and just fucking destroyed it.
What was that meeting like? So what are we gonna call this side where the party takes place? And one guy's like, how about the party side?
Yeah.
And we're like, that's good.
That's it.
I feel like there was one guy who had like a bad one.
And
And
then-
he's like, "What about like the gaming and events side?" I'm like, no.
But then
No, it's party
the
side.
other side was called the nice side.
I like how
That's it.
guys they just don't evolve from like first grade.
yeah.
Like this is party side, this is the nice
Dude,
side.
we fucked that house up so bad. I remember like having one party and we were like spray painting the inside of the house, or I was.
It's just like Breaking Bad. Parties.
Yes, for sure. It was like that when Jesse does meth for like 3
Yeah.
months after
Yeah.
Jesus
one of.
Christ.
Yeah, but we weren't doing meth. We were, I mean, not that we knew of, really. It was that was an intense year of my life. But yeah, that was we called it the brickyard.
Yeah.
It was
This is
because
like-
it was covered with fake brick. Like the siding was like
yeah.
it was
Yeah.
like shingle material.
So you
but it
called
was,
the,
like,
the whole house was the brickyard.
the brickyard. Yeah.
One half was the.
You're
party
like how
side.
like a Vietnam War vet talks about Vietnam. You're like that was a
Yeah.
I am picturing this like
I will-
Grant got drafted into this house.
yeah exactly.
I kind of did. It was awesome. I threw a beer bottle through the front window of my roommates. Me and my roommate. I'll apologize for this too. Shit. This.
This is a
my-
Grant heavy episode.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. Nah, I'm just gonna have to spread these stories out through this.
You can.
Not
I'm
just
not
this
complaining.
episode. No, but
Okay.
every time I say one thing, I get triggered of another like insane memory
Yeah,
from
it's
this.
just like a
So-
chain of events of
yeah.
apologies and mistakes.
Yeah, so me and my I shared a room in this house, and it was like I had the bedroom, and then off the one side of the bedroom was like a front porch on the front side of the house, and then my roommate stayed in that room. So we shared a room, but it was kind of 2 separate rooms, and his looked out over the front of the house. And we were drinking up in his little room, and we called that the crow's nest.
Yeah.
And it had a sliding window that we took the screen out of, so you could just hang out of it and like, you know, fuck with people who were coming in. And I was down in the front yard, and he threw a bottle at me. He threw a
What the
beer
fuck?
bottle at me, and I responded to that. And I picked up a beer bottle from the front yard because we also had a game where we would just smash bottles from our front window down in the front yard.
Jesus
Yeah, it was
Christ.
fucked up. And
This sounds.
he
This-
shut.
I'm sorry, Grant. This doesn't sound that fucked up to me. This
Okay,
sounds
all
like
right,
what?
I don't know.
we
Ryan,
had very similar experiences.
Ryan, you're like
in
going like,
Dinkytown.
what the hell? And I'm just like,
I mean,
I
it's
mean, like,
both.
I'm not
it
like,
was fucked
I'm
up,
not
but
disagreeing
It
that it's
sounds
not.
like Lord of the Flies if it was a house.
Dude,
It
I'm not.
was,
I'm
and
not.
It was fun as shit, bro.
I'm not like. I'm yeah. Fuck yeah. That we're talking about
Yeah, let's
partying.
crack
and
some
I love
Okay.
it.
beers, dude.
I have
No.
one college story after this.
I'm not disagreeing that it's not fucked up. Like they're heathens.
I'm just
they're
surprised
living. They're
that
living
they're
like.
throwing bottles of beer at each other.
No, dude, this was kind of the vibe. I'm telling you, it was kind of fucking
It's
crazy
the
like
vibe,
this.
bro. So he threw a beer bottle at me down in the front yard, and the room is like full of all of our friends drinking, and I pick up a bottle and cock back to throw it, and he's like, no, don't. Shuts the window, and I just fucking fling the bottle straight through the window with a room full of people in it. And it's like tempered glass. It's not like shattered glass. It's like Oh my God, I keep getting triggered with more stories. This was in the middle of the winter, and it was like an insulated window, and his room was already like a 3-season porch type thing, so it
Yeah.
got really cold in there. And then I broke his weatherproof window by throwing a bottle
How did
through
he
it.
sleep?
Really bad. That night, he was so fucking mad at me because he took.
But he threw a
slept
bottle
on
at you
it.
first.
I
though.
know, but he shut the window, and then I just threw the bottle through the window.
But you're not. Again,
Yeah,
They're
To the
both sides
tango.
are wrong. You're wrong. You're more wrong for sure.
But here's the
Well, you
thing:
did the most
he
damage.
took his
You're-
mattress off his bed and put it up against the broken window that night. And then the next morning, he was like, "Fuck you, dude." I mean, we had fun because he didn't really care. Like
This
it was like
when we got in a fight.
the whole point was that I have this story to tell right now,
Yeah.
basically,
Yeah.
and we all knew that. And so I was the next morning I took his window out of the sill, and I was very hungover, and I was trying to smash the rest of the window out of it so I could go and get it replaced. And
That's
then I
nice.
just cut my hand on the broken window and had to go get stitches.
oh no.
And
Because you're like
and then-
hungover, you're
yeah,
still
yeah.
kind of drunk.
And I remember just grabbing the fucking
God
glass
damn, dude.
and then trying to shake it out. And I was with another one
you're
of my.
grabbing glass.
I was fucked up, and I was.
You don't even have like a towel.
I had
over it?
I had gloves on, like it was winter, and I was like, kind of. It was just a that
just
was a
pierced right through the
momentary like
glove.
it was like a momentary thing where it was like, oh, that was really dumb. If I would have thought about it for even more than I just did it. It
You
was
do
like,
it and then you go, fuck,
yeah,
I
because
just
like
did
my
that.
hand moved on the glass, and I just grabbed my hand, and I go to my other roommate who's with me. I'm like, you need to take me to the hospital. It wasn't bad, but I cut my finger pretty good.
Did you
can
take your
see the
glove
scar
off?
right
Did you
there.
take your glove off to look at it first? put your glove
yeah,
on?
yeah. I
So you take your glove off, and then you're like, well, that's
Yeah.
a deep cut.
yeah.
And then you put it
No, I
back
didn't
on.
even look at it.
You didn't even look at it.
Yeah, I
you
just
like,
grabbed it, and I was like, because I knew.
You just knew.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
So I'm gonna go ahead and okay. Here's the button on the story is that I got my hand fixed, and then I took his window to the hardware store down the street, Oaks Hardware, if you know that spot right on Como and
Oh, yeah.
15th.
know
And
about
they
Oaks, baby.
couldn't fix it with weatherproof glass, so they just put like plexiglass and like caulked it into his window, and he spent the rest of the winter with like
Oh my
just
god.
like basically saran wrap on his
Oh my-
window.
Dude, you don't
And,
know how many windows I fix at the hardware store where
Yeah.
like people like they don't want to get their windows fixed when their car breaks, and so like I would be like 15 like like cutting plexiglass and then like caulking someone's
It
like
does
car
not
window,
work.
and it doesn't even and I'm
It
just
breaks
like,
off immediately.
and I'm literally just like, you can't use this, like if you try to use like the buttons on this at all, like, and also like be careful opening this up, and then people are like, no, it's okay, it's good.
It's good now.
Yeah, I have a funny story of
But
yeah.
I just
anyways.
to wrap it up, I'm gonna go ahead and apologize to myself for all of that.
You Kaiser Soze,
Yeah.
who we thought you were going to apologize to.
Well, I'll apologize to Kalen too for breaking his window or whatever. I don't know. I don't really.
Yeah.
He thinks it's funny. Like we all
I
think
think
it's funny.
I think it
I
is.
mean, it is funny.
It
in
is.
hindsight.
It is really
And
funny, and that's
we
just the type
continue-
of shit that would
Yeah,
happen.
we continued
at
to
that time.
act like that long after that too. It would never. And then I went on to live with him for 2 or 3 more years. He was one of my roommates who I left the door open at the house the next year. So I had. It was a pretty
And
pretty
I'm
big
su-
bender
and
I
I'm-
went
and
on.
I'm sure they have many.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure it goes all
Yeah.
around.
Well, everybody does.
I've
fucked
been
up stuff.
yeah,
It
I've
was
been
a
on and on
problematic
roommates
bunch.
with all those people for years. We're all still very close friends. So
Yeah.
Dude, okay.
Yeah.
When I lived in Eau Claire for I lived in Eau Claire from 18 to I don't know, 21 maybe.
Mhm.
The last house I lived in, there was 3 other dudes. One dude was he was one of those guys who just has a table made of chew tins.
Yeah.
You know, one of those guys.
Mhm. Like a pyramid of beer boxes and shit like that.
Yeah, but it's so
Wait,
he
the table is fashioned out of chew
so
tins?
it was a wooden table.
or
and he
there's just chew tins on top of the
it's
table.
on top of the table, but he'd super glued them on and
Yeah.
then put a thing over it to keep it.
he
nice.
Pinterest boarded.
I think
Yeah,
I've seen
a
that
skull
only. I think I've
table.
seen that only in memes.
He somehow actually made it look nice. It was weird, but so then
Yeah.
I know exactly who you're
I
talking
gotta
about.
piss. Keep telling the
Yeah.
story. I think I've heard this before.
It's like a
What's
hockey
up?
hair guy
Yes,
type
exactly.
person. Yeah,
So-
we all know the guy.
I had 3 roommates, and they would always just throw fucking crazy parties, and
Mhm.
I wasn't a huge part. I was usually Thursdays. I would just go to Rochester
Yeah,
to
open
do an
mics.
open mic.
Yeah.
So I go to this open mic. I come back. I know that they're having a party, but I get home and it's oh, they're having a fucking big like 4-kegger.
A real
party.
one.
Yeah, like it's insane.
A Boatchella,
Yeah,
if you will.
in my house. Yeah. So then I'm like tired because I just drove 2 hours and I get in.
Bombed your ass off.
Yeah, bomb my fucking ass off because I've been doing comedy for 6 months. And I'm just like, what am I doing?
What a horrible,
So
horrible
then-
existence.
I like am going in my house and the party, like there's just people lining the fucking hallways
Yeah.
on both sides. I'm like, yeah, excuse me, I live here. What, get the, and then I get to my room, I open the door, and there was just like a dude in my room doing coke. Like he just had like a thing, and he's just like, can I help you? And I'm like, yeah, bro, this is my room. What are you doing in my room? And he's just like, oh, I'm just like doing some lines. And I was like, yeah, I can see that, man. Like you need to I was also kind of a narc. I've never done coke, so I was just like uncomfortable. Like if he was just smoking weed, I'd be like, oh yeah, you need to go, but I wouldn't be upset, But like I was upset. I was like, you need to leave, dude. And he's just like looked at me and he's like, do you want it? Would you like a line?
Yeah.
And I was just like,
See,
no.
you were definitely living in the wrong house because
But okay, so then I kick him out, right? And then like my friends are like on like Water Street, which is like the town, like
the main one.
yeah,
the main
so like
drag.
which we were like a block away from that. So I hit up my friends. I'm like, yo, what are you guys up to? I meet them out at the bars. We go out to the bars, and then we're coming back, and I'm like, oh, looks like the party's over, whatever. I didn't know this was happening. So like while we're walking around, what had happened inside is one dude. There's always like one weird dude who just stays at the party too long.
Oh
right?
yeah.
My roommate had like a fucking 175 Jack Daniels bottle that he would just spit sunflower seeds into for some reason. And this dude, they're trying to get this dude to leave, right? They're like, okay, the party's over, you gotta go. And he sees this bottle and just starts like dumping the sunflower seeds out on the floor. And my roommates are like, yo, no, don't do that. They're like trying to grab the bottle from him. And he took the bottle and like smashed one of my roommates in the head with it.
Oh my god!
And like my roommate had to go get stitches.
Did the bottle break?
I don't know. I think so actually. But so
Those
then,
things are fucking like thick glass.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't see any of this shit. So me and my friends are coming around the side, and we just see my roommates grabbing this dude like from his back and his legs, like, and just fucking chucking him onto the sidewalk, and he lands like chin first, like
like
gets thrown
Mo
like
from The Simpsons
literally
style.
yes, gets thrown like 4 feet, lands on his chin, and I'm like, whoa, what
like
the
some
fuck?
classic cowboy movie bullshit.
Yes,
like,
exactly. So I don't know what's going on. So I like rush up to this dude and I'm like, I see my roommates and they're like, he needs to get the fuck out of here, dude. And I'm like, the guy's like drunk and is like getting up and I'm like, yo, I don't know what just happened, but you gotta go, man. It doesn't seem like they want you here, And he's like, who the fuck are you? And I'm like, I also live here, bro. You need to go. And then like I could just see it in his eyes. I was like, oh, this guy's about to punch me. So
Well, again, and I want to cut you off because the listeners don't know this. Ryan was a boxer for like 10 years of his childhood, like up until I think you were like 16 when you got into football or something like that.
15.
You were like in boxing tournaments, national tournaments. I've wrestled with Ryan before, and it sucks. He's really good at diffusing the body. And yeah,
I wasn't punching either. I'm good at punching. I'm not good at wrestling.
Yeah.
But anyways, this guy punches me in the face, and it threw me on. I was like, what the fuck? And so then my friends just look at me, and we're all just like, oh yeah, we're gonna beat the shit out of this guy.
absolutely. It's
So-
like, he fucking made his
Yeah,
bed.
yeah,
You're gonna
that's-
punch someone
So
when
at
there's
first-
4 guys.
At first, it's us 3, and we just start beating him up, and then he falls down, and then they stopped. But I was still like, I remember like standing over this dude, and I like grabbed him by the shirt.
This
and I
was
just, like,
before you were a Roman Stoic.
yeah, this was like just like chaos, true chaos. And I was also drunk because I'd been
this is
at the
Roman
bars.
chaos.
This is like, this is ancient Roman
This is
wrestling.
Caligula.
Yeah.
This is Caligula.
The Caligula coming out. But so I have him, and I'm like, are you fucking? I'm like big brothering him. I'm like, are you fucking done, dude? Are you done?
Why
And he's
I
just like,
oughta.
No, why I
He's
know
like,
that.
he's like, and so then like, he doesn't
Sounds
even
like
say
he might be
words.
done.
Doesn't even say words, but I'm like, okay, I get up, and then he gets back up, and I'm like, go, you need to go, and then he's just like, and like he swings and misses, and then I just like punch him, he falls down.
Give him the
and
2-piece.
So now I
Hit
think
him
I
with
was
that
like
bing, bing,
hooks and
bing, bing.
uppercuts, but so then he's like down, and now I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make sure he's done. So like then he's like down on the ground, and I'm just like, by this point we're like in the street fighting, and like he's on the ground, and I'm like picking him up and pulling him and punching him like while he's down,
Full on Mark Wahlberg.
like truly just assaulting this man at this point. So then like 3 people are coming home from the bars, and they like see this happening and like make eye contact with me, and I like nod at them, and then they nod at me, and then I just go back to punching
this
the
is
shit out of this
Wisconsin
guy.
after all.
So then the guy, I think he was like out, so I was just like, okay, time to go inside, you know, and then we found his shoe, and we took his shoe, and we had the samurai sword, and we stuck the sword through the shoe and hung it up as a trophy.
How are you just judging me for throwing a beer bottle through a window
Because
and
this
you're
is
like,
a
and you're
one-time
taking
thing.
war trophies. You know?
Also, dude, you know what's fucked up? So then the next day, my roommate was like, yo, dude, I actually work with that guy. And he was
That's
like-
small town
he was like-
Wisconsin.
he was
you
like-
get into a big brawl
I don't
and
remember-
you're like, damn, that was actually my cousin
Okay,
Jerry.
I don't remember if he works with them or he worked at the place that he went. Anyways, he saw this guy the next day though, and his face was like swollen to shit.
one shoe on.
Yeah, it's a very dude Cinderella. You know,
Yeah.
you take
Also,
one
I've told,
shoe-
dude,
you
I've
know?
tried to tell this story to like gals that I'm with, and they're always like, "Yeah, that you're a psychopath. Like, don't what?"
Oh no, it's
'Cause
not.
dude, this is a story for dudes where they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh man, I can't believe you did that." You know, I can't believe. But also, like, it was somewhat justified. At
And
least,
also
you know?
that story
Yeah.
just folded perfectly into what me and Tommy were just talking about. Like that
Well,
one,
it's just
that
chaos.
one's
It's
not
Lord
for
of the Flies.
that one's not for the ladies. Like
No, none of these.
Well, no. Well, it was funny. I was at the dinner with my girlfriend and her parents, and they were all talking about like, you know, or before she left.
were
from
they
New
talking
York.
about the podcast?
No, but they fucking should have been, dude.
Oh, that reminds me of something after this.
yeah.
Okay, but they were just like talking about like, you know, all the conflicts and you know, little fights. You know, her and her sisters would get, because she has two sisters, I have two brothers. And like in all the, you know, all the little conflicts they would get into as kids and stuff. And they're like, what was you know, what was it like with your brothers, Tommy? Like what little fights did, because they're just like, you know, so and so stole this and pulled the hair, and I'm like, it was just blood, like a lot of blood and punching. And you would just get punched in the face, and that was it. Like you know, it's a different fucking thing.
Yeah.
You know. Well, I'm
Totally
sorry.
different.
What did that remind you of though?
Oh, of like our family members or our girlfriend's family members listening to the podcast. My mom. So I was talking to my mom on the phone last night.
No one in my immediate life
Well-
listens to this podcast. I'm keeping this under wraps.
Okay, well, my mom
My
does.
mom
listen.
told me she started listening, and I was like, hey.
My mom. So my
Hi, Mom.
I was talking to her on the phone.
They don't
though.
know what podcasts are.
I was talking to my mom on the phone, and she's just like, at one point, she was just like, you know, I was listening to one of the episodes, and I realized, I don't think I would listen to this if you weren't my son. And I was just like, fucking, okay, how's your day, Mom? Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? Like,
And also, no shit.
but
Like-
then, but
like-
then she would, you know what? Her reasoning was, she was like, it's mostly Tommy's voice.
oh my god.
It's very high, and you have to turn
That
it up.
is-
She said,
That is not true.
no, I swear to God, my mom was like, you have to turn it up when Tommy's talking, then he laughs, and it's really loud, and then you have to turn it down. And then she literally, she paused, and she went, I like it when you and Grant are talking.
Dude, that's okay.
Like, she likes you,
Tommy,
I
I'm
know
sorry
she
about
likes
this, but
me.
my mom gave like almost the exact same note.
Okay.
And so did my brother.
I can't stress this enough. I'm so sorry about my voice. I'm aware. I know. Deal with
Yo,
it.
shout-
I've been
out-
doing
shout-
doing
real
all I can to edit your voice out of the podcast.
Should I just
so-
be going like this, like when
you
like
need
you
to
guys
do
say
deep
something?
voice.
Should I just be like, ah, that was cool.
Yeah, do interessante voice.
Yeah, you just be interessante the whole time.
Yeah, that was a good point.
Yeah, there we go.
guy who
No, when you guys make a funny point, I just go,
Dude, don't do this because people are gonna start writing in and be like, please make Tommy do that.
I'm
that-
interessante.
Okay, also
that was funny.
let's,
that was funny.
real quick,
you
shouts
guys.
out to Brenda Call, the boss, the woman of the house. Brenda Call, my mom.
Brenda,
Oh, yeah.
sorry
One
for
of our-
everything
our number
we've
one
said.
listener who goes back and forth on whether or not she actually likes the podcast.
Yeah, and apparently this middle-aged woman would not be listening if it weren't for you. So
Which is crazy.
and that's our core demographic that we're trying to get to. So
Yeah.
it's middle-aged women from Wyoming. Hopefully, I mean, tell your friends, Brenda.
It's so funny how bad my voice is.
Dude,
Well,
okay,
shouts out to also the other people who have been listening. Like, we really appreciate getting feedback and everything. But I will say this: a couple of you have been hitting us up about like the YouTube videos being maybe a little bit slow to upload and stuff. And I just gotta say, like, I love you for listening and stuff, but chill the fuck out, okay?
We're trying our best.
I'm editing all this.
We're
stuff,
literally
like,
3 of the stupidest people you know.
And,
Give
like,
us a second.
We couldn't get a boat. We talked about
We had
Yo,
the
how are
boat.
we supposed to figure out the internet?
Yeah, I can't even figure out a boat.
So yeah,
dude.
yeah, I love you. I love you so much. But like, yeah,
Also, we understand that, like, yeah, sometimes the audio's fucked up, or sometimes it takes a while. We're doing our best. I promise you, we're not neglecting
yeah,
you.
and it's not that we just don't know that stuff, and then
It's
we
just that we don't know how to do any better.
yeah.
I remember.
And there's no way.
I remember.
But
getting
again, thank you so much for listening and supporting.
yeah, we
And also
really,
giving
we
us
do
some
really
kind of
appreciate
feedback.
it.
But
We
it
do
is
appreciate
interesting to like have anxiety about YouTube not working and then get a DM from a stranger telling me that the YouTube video is late. Doesn't really help me get the YouTube video up.
Speaking of listeners, we do have an apology to read. And
Yeah.
really quick, I just remembered. I would remember being like, a kid getting in fights with my brothers and stuff like that. And like, we'd all be yelling and screaming. And they'd be like, even then, they were just like, your voice.
Oh God.
Stop.
I love that this has been a lifetime struggle. For
It's
you.
not, yeah, it wasn't a puberty thing. It was just a constant, it was a being born thing. Where
Have
it's-
you thought about just trying to make your voice deeper?
what about.
Try to do my voice, Tommy.
Talk again.
Hey, I'm Ryan Call.
Hey, I'm Ryan Call.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Try and do mine. We have pretty much identical voices, so
Try and do mine.
Okay, what
was
about?
good.
I'll try and do Tommy's now.
Okay, go ahead.
let me try and do it.
I don't sound like that.
No, you're. Yeah, I don't sound like that.
For Tommy,
I don't sound like that.
That-
My name is Tommy.
Oh my god.
I was just straight
Now
up
I-
bullying you.
Now I'm rude.
No, you know.
No, I'm rude.
Here's what you got to do to Tommy. You have to inhale while you talk. You have to go.
Yeah, my voice is kind of when you let all the air out of a balloon and then you
Like
just let it
slowly,
ride.
All right. I think. Are you timing? We're at like about an hour.
Yeah,
I
let's do
think
this
we're at.
apology
So,
and then finish up.
We
We're gonna
have
get going.
we have a couple apologies, but we need more. Okay, we're running out of apologies. Everybody, please. So submit
For $1 a day, you can support the We Cool podcast.
for less than a
For
dollar.
less than
a
$1
day.
a day, you can
For less
support
than the
these
cost
3
of a cup of coffee.
white men. And
Quit
make
telling
it so
people
that they
we're
can,
white.
these 3 Eurasian men. These 3 Himalayan. Okay.
Ryan was asking if he was a wasp earlier. You were asking, and we're way too trashy to be considered wasps, I think. Okay, so there's a longer apology, but we're just gonna go with this short one to wrap up today because this is a fun episode. This is
I
a
think it
loose
was good, yeah.
episode.
Yeah, I love this.
So we'll go with this a little bit of a
fucking
sillier
love
apology.
this shit,
I think
dude.
this apology is it speaks for itself. So let's just okay. And again, if you want to submit an anonymous apology, we will apologize for you for something you can't apologize for. Go to www.com, grantwinklescomedy.com/wecoolpodcast.
And
submit those.
also, if you go to our Twitter, we're going to be trying to push that
Yeah.
link out further as we do genuinely need.
Yeah, please
viewer-
submit these because we're trying to make the show kind of revolve actually around these anonymous apologies. So we need more.
Or if you have friends who would maybe enjoy the podcast, or even you just think like, hey, you have that great story that would be great for these guys to apologize for you for.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know,
It's just gonna be all my friends writing in shit I need to apologize to them for. Okay, so here we go. I need to apologize for ejaculating at my father's funeral. The way the funeral home director looked at me.
wait, okay, but let's
Okay.
give that a second to breathe.
Is this
This
a
is
joke
one-
apology?
Yeah,
Is
this is one we decided that we weren't gonna read, but since this is kind of a silly episode, I feel like
Is someone doing a bit?
Listen here, you motherfucker.
Listen here, you fucking idiot. You think you can fucking come in here, do bits on a comedy show?
That's our thing sometimes.
That's our thing sometimes.
And it's hard. Sometimes it doesn't even work when we do it. Why do you think that you couldn't do that?
Don't even be doing jokes like that.
Yeah.
This is my voice now.
Isn't it obvious?
Yeah, don't even come on the show and do jokes.
Thank you very much, Tommy. Isn't it obvious that this show is not funny?
No, this
Haven't
is a
we made
serious
that
show.
clear enough?
You think he's gonna come on here and do jokes?
Tommy,
No.
thank you.
Thank
Yet
you,
again,
Tommy.
just
I love
no.
Tommy's new voice.
great chime ins.
This
New
is
Tommy.
This is deep voice, Tommy. It's all good.
Should I change my voice, do you think?
Yeah.
I'm even deeper voice right now.
Should I
This
change
is my
mine?
Morgan Freeman.
I'm even deeper
The first time I listened to the We Cool podcast.
Is that British Morgan Freeman?
I don't know. I
I'm
was trying to find it. I couldn't do it.
You want to hear my Morgan Freeman?
Yeah, let's hear your Morgan Freeman.
Oh, blimey. Give us a kiss. Okay, so please, the apologies don't work as good if you try and be funny, but I guess we'll read them. The way the funeral home director looked at me when she told me about the billing information just put me in some type of way. There was a clear stain on my funeral pants, and I feel bad. So
wait,
this is
So someone came.
that's the whole thing.
because
is
the bill was so high?
or
Like,
low, maybe. Because I don't come if something's expensive. I come if something's cheap.
I want to be very clear. Don't write in this type of apology.
yeah, this is illustrative of what not to do.
But
Yes.
let's analyze this because there might be some actual truth here, and
Well,
there may be
we're-
something that they actually do want to apologize for.
Well, I need to apologize for ejaculating at my father's funeral,
Oh.
which honestly is not an appropriate time to ejaculate.
Yeah, I mean, if you did actually do that,
Unless you
Or like the day of,
unless you
or
had a
like-
consensual
or even if
Or
you
like
just,
the day of the funeral.
or
like,
even if you just walked in with cum on your pants, you came somewhere else, and then now you've got it on your pants.
like if it was the day of your father's funeral and you woke up
you come to
and
me,
and you
come
woke
to
up
me.
horny and you jerked one off really quick and then you're just like, oh fuck, it's my dad's funeral
You
today.
come to me on this the day of my
day of my
father's
father's
funeral.
funeral,
And
and
you
you're
make
gonna-
me come in my own.
I
pants.
come on me on this day, the day of my father's funeral.
You come to me on the day of my father's funeral, and you sitting over there make me come in my own pants.
By giving me a low or high bill, it was not specified.
The way the funeral director home looked at me when she told me about the billing information
Wait,
just
what about-
put me in some type of way.
That was pretty good.
What about Sylvester Stallone? Do you think I could do it? I'm Sylvester Stallone. I'm Sylvester Stallone. Oh, I'm Sylvester Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone.
I'm Sylvester Stallone. I think I'm doing it better.
See, but this illustrates the
Adrian.
point very well.
Adrian.
That if you try
Adrian,
and make these
here's
funny,
the thing
we
about-
don't have anything like it's
I'm
just not
Sylvester
funny. We're just
Stallone.
reading your shitty apologies.
It's just
that
me
aren't
trying to do
real.
a Sylvester
Yeah, it
Stallone
turns into
impression.
this.
Yeah.
So like it's more fun when we're talking about innocent loss of innocence, children stealing Tic Tacs.
I think real apologies are always better.
Yes.
Because real is funnier.
Also, if you are still a listener of the show, please don't stop listening. We don't hate you,
No.
but you are on our bad side.
And
right now.
also, if you did actually, if this is true, sorry for us demeaning it and taking away from
how
your,
shitty would that
your
be if
lived
this was
Oh
true?
my
And
God,
this
if-
guy's just like, I already felt bad. Okay? This is one of the worst moments of my life.
Well, let's just wrap
Yeah.
it up then. I don't know. Sorry to everybody else who was
okay.
at the funeral.
I'd like to apologize on behalf of this anonymous person who supposedly came in their pants at their father's funeral. I'd like to apologize to the memory of their father, the loving memory of their father, hopefully their living mother, any surviving relatives, the attendees of the funeral, and most importantly, to the staff of the funeral. And also, if this is a lie, I would like to apologize on behalf of this person.
Well, I would like to demand an
themselves.
apology from this person if it is.
I think they should apologize to themselves.
Mhm.
They don't need to apologize to us.
No
you
one
know?
needs to really.
You're only
apologize
cheating
to us.
yourself.
Well, no, I
Maybe
think they should
some-
apologize to us for making a mockery out of this very serious podcast that we host.
Yeah, this program. It's not what this program's about. And in this moment right now,
Mhm. It's so
it's
important.
it's a program.
It's
that
so
we're
important to
doing.
be truthful in this day and age, where there's less
We
of a
did
concept.
literally the last episode. We did say that you should lie if you can get away with it.
Yeah, but not to us.
Yeah,
you
not
know?
to us.
Don't lie to
Lie
us.
to
Tell
other
us the
people,
truth.
and then we make it right.
You
Yeah.
can lie to your children, your parents,
Your loved ones,
your lovers,
Mhm.
Mhm.
significant others,
your enemies. I lie to my enemies all the time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
All right, I do have to get going though. You
Okay.
guys.
Cool. Well, that's gonna be the episode. You guys have anything to plug?
I'm gonna be featuring at Sisyphus sometime late September. So
Yeah, I might be. I think I'm featuring there late September too.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
we
I
might,
just did
me and Ryan might be featuring
I
at
did
Sisyphus back-to-back weeks.
Sisyphus
So
2
On the
weekends
18th.
ago. It was really
I
fun.
think I'm the week after that.
And also,
Yeah.
Sisyphus, I haven't really been doing shows, but props to Sam, the owner of Sisyphus, making it very safe, actually, to have as safe as possible as comedy shows can be right now, it seems, from every show that I've done.
Yeah.
Social distance, third capacity, and, like, he's taking it seriously. So please consider going to those if you're interested in doing something. Follow us on social media at We Cool Podcast. Rate and review on iTunes or Apple Podcasts. That's huge for us.
Just listen.
Yeah, just listen. And also, if you can, please submit an anonymous apology, grantwinklescomedy.com/WeCoolPodcast. And yeah, tell people if you like this show. That's the number one thing. Maybe if you get one other person to listen to this show, that is huge for us. So
Yeah, we would appreciate just word of mouth. We're not asking for money. We're just asking for you to tell people that you enjoy the show. If you do.
for less than $1 a day.
Okay, thank you. I'm getting out of here, guys.
Okay.
For Tommy Bayer and Grant Winkles, I've been Ryan Call, and this has been the We Cool Podcast.
Such a funny outro. For Tommy Barry and Grant.